Hello everyone, this is Ed with Techvarium. So Apple hasn't even released their next generation flagship iPhone 6s, and yet again, next generation iPhones are already bouncing on the market from China, and that's where I received this one today. It's supposedly an iPhone 6s in pink, which you will see on your screens in just a second, but I'm going to unbox it and take a look and see what's inside. iPhone 6s release is just a little bit of time away, and definitely something that was waited on by a lot of people all over the world. And this is going to be the hottest arrival, and things like force touch capacity, improved camera, 4K recording, possibly 2 gigs of RAM, faster data speeds due to Qualcomm chip. And in my next review, I'm going to run some benchmarks of the phone that you will see in just a second on your screens versus a real iPhone by Apple. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it and see what this device looks like. So, all right, let's see what's inside. So cheap looking additional cable. I bet you there's another one in the box. And we're going to take a look at the phone in just a second. The box is already... The plastic is already ripped. I'm just going to take that off and open it up. And let me just toss that and get it out of the way. See some dirt on there. And usually Apple product, real ones, they usually slide one out of the other so nicely. But what else do you expect from this? All right, first impressions. That's what it looks like. 32. So I'm assuming that this is a 32 gig. It was advertised as a 64. Build quality, honestly, is absolutely amazing. Build quality is actually just awesome. And there's another screen protector. Just gonna leave it on there for now. Gonna turn it on and nothing happens, so hoping it's just a battery that's dead. So hopefully it is a functional device. Yeah, it's not turning on, so I'm gonna charge it up. But before I do that, just want to show you what's inside the box. So just standard legal documentation, not gonna get into it. In your SIM removal tool that is bent right there, and obviously not supposed to be that way on a real one, but definitely not going to go through all that information on there. And that's an extra cable that you saw outside of the box, and then there's one inside the box. Not really nicely wrapped like the real Apple ones, and looks very crappy, cheap material. And then this is your standard wall charger, nothing interesting about that. And your headphones, which in one of my other videos, this just fell apart in my hands, just flew right at me. But this one has a plastic cover around it, holding it in place. Oh no, you got some glue in there. I guess that didn't really stick well together. All right, so again, looks very, very neat. Looks pretty much like a real iPhone, except that it's pink, but what do we expect? And this button is another subtle difference, is that it's not as soft as the regular one. So now that we charged it up, I'm gonna turn it on, and now I'm not gonna time it. Probably gonna take a second. Take another glance on the back side of the phone. It looks like a real one. The other subtle difference that I just noticed is the Apple logo that sticks out in the back a little bit more than it should. And again, the silence switch is not as soft when you switch positions compared to the real iPhones. Here's our screen. Okay, so there's a little bit of a lag, some delay. When you try to access applications, that's probably going to take some time. So covered the build quality and how it's compared. It looks almost identical. So let's move that out of the way. That never appears on your screen by default on the new iPhone, as we all know. But this is an iOS skin for Android KitKat. Let's take a look at the camera first and take some pictures. It's taking pictures pretty quickly, but really want to see is slow-mo, and I believe that it's probably not a slow-mo. I highly doubt that it's going to be a real one. So we're just going to move it around quickly like this. All right, let's come back to the recording and see. There's a delay, okay. And yeah, that's not slow-mo, not at all. But again, I think that was just kind of expected. So that was the camera. And let's take a look at the settings and see what we can find there. The About section and all the serials in there and things like that. It is a 32 gig, so advertises 64, and you probably noticed how it took a second to generate those numbers on there. Now let's come back to the desktop screen with all of your icons. What are we going to look at next? Just App Store. This is your Google account that it's asking for. That doesn't happen on real iPhone. Weather. So, all right, weather app, location services. But I don't currently have it connected to Wi-Fi, so I'm just going to turn on location services and see if it'll. It doesn't look the same. So let's go back and look at the maps. I'll just, all right, Google Maps, that's not, Let's go, and what else do you want to see? Let's go back into the settings again, and let's see how they slide up, but there's a little bit of a delay. The transitions are very, very laggy. The visual component of it is performed very, very nicely. It does resemble real. Okay, there's your, so no Siri, you have your Google Voice Recognition service there. So definitely not something you would expect on the real iPhone, but in case you were wondering. iCloud, there's no iCloud on this, and FaceTime gets you into the regular dialog for your phone app, so this is not, that's not FaceTime. So why don't we try it with a SIM card and see if it works as a phone. All right, so I'm gonna pull out the SIM card out of my 930. So hopefully it'll fit nicely into the SIM card holder, and we're gonna use our little bent SIM card removal tool that came in the packaging. All right, slides out very nicely. And I keep repeating myself over and over again, but the build quality is really, really nice. Even the way that the SIM card holder slid out of the slot. All right. Let's see. All right, we still have no SIM card. It might take a second to initiate. And let's try to dial the standard T-Mobile extension for voicemail, which is 123. It's easy to remember. And no SIM card or SIM card error. So what I'll be doing instead is we're going to try to actually reset it to the original settings. So we're going to do general, reset, sliding, okay, reset, and then factory data reset. And all right, reset phone. All right, it doesn't look like a real iPhone, obviously. All right, so we're just going to give it a second. And it was unmounting the storage, which is definitely an Android feature. Your Apple logo comes on almost instantaneously. Look at that. Android. All right, look at the quality. This is just, I keep repeating myself, but this is really, really resembling a real one. But this is advertised as a 6S, but that's definitely not. restarted it, so there's definitely a lag. When I initially took it out of the box, it wasn't that wasn't on the screen, so somebody must have set up the phone prior to the phone being shipped out, which makes me think that's probably why the battery was so dead. But we have more than 20 languages there. I'm gonna go for English, US, and let's slide that out of the way. All right, so this is, yeah, before, like I said, before they shipped it out, it was already activated and set up. All right, always get a welcome screen almost on any phone. Skip, but this is really interesting because it looked brand new out of the box. But all right, again, there's a little bit of a lag. Doesn't happen with the real iPhones, and this is really it. So let's try the phone app and see if it actually works, because it looks like we're getting reception on a T-Mobile network here. All right, now connected to the actual T-Mobile voicemail service. All right, make sure it does work. That's your amazingly looking fake iPhone 6s in pink, coming straight from China. And that's really all I have to say about it. Does it suck? Yeah, it really does, but it doesn't seem like a bad option if you're broke and you want to get something close to an iPhone for 150 bucks. You know, looks better than some of the Androids in the same price range that I've seen in the past. As always, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and see you in my next review very soon.